Yo, up and running interview squad in the building. Calvin, my general. Oh, go on.
Hey, Gary, there, so
yo, everything we just love the tropical country now. I'm not telling like we get some rain this a while ago. I'm not telling I like it. Finally. You know? It's definitely a need. Yeah. So, how is everything otherwise?
Everything good enough.
Working from home?
No. Bro got open by the country, so expected to be at office and all them things.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, man. But persons who are heading back out, I'm just telling you, still keep safe. Persons realize that the place is open now, so it seems like there's no more safety tip. I see persons going into supermarket without masks. Persons stop use. Yeah, a lot of things just stop overall. But come on, viewers, we still have to be smart about this. We can't just run like cut off a chicken as a Jamaican and say, Joan, big up yourself. I have a big in Joan and I have a big up Joan, I have a big up Goofy who will log in early. Joan, I think it's about 12 o'clock now in England, and I'm telling you. Keisha, big up yourself, up and running, checking in.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely big up the fans. And we'll add it about because you act like the fans don't need to see a youth.
Hold on. Yes. Hold on. I'm come out, but I'm so far.
Alright, up my butt.
It's on here and forward.
Yeah,
Gary, 500 subscribers.
Yeah, man, up and running. Yeah, respect. Quick and fast. I have to give a shout out to the viewers, subscribers who make this happen quick and fast, and we are going to 1,000 by now and next 2 weeks. So that's the aim. Only up. We keep growing. So who we have on today, Calvin? What's going on?
Today we have a young man who plays table tennis. He plays table tennis for Jamaica. It's a little bit different than what we normally do. His name, Simon Tomlinson, national player, national champion.
Yeah.
Played all across the world. And today we'll have him on talking about his journey and how it's possible.
Yo, with no further delay, let the viewers see who we are talking about now, because Simon in the building up and running.
Oh. If you think it's going to be easy, if you think you're just going to get that business started without any trials or tribulations, forget about it. Don't even try to be successful. It's a wrap. It's not going to be easy, but I want you to feel that pain going through your body. And as pain leaves your body, guess what's going to take its place? Success. And so you got to change your mindset. All right? We got to stop looking at pain as if it's something negative. All right? Listen to me. If it was easy, everybody would do it. No pain, no gain. But I guarantee you, if you can outlast pain, if you can get through that pain, if you can get through that discomfort, all right? If you can outlast that discomfort, I guarantee you, baby, on the other side of it is success. All roads to success, you gotta go through pain. They are success. When you travel down success, you gotta go through the road of pain, baby. I told you before, if it was easy, everybody would do it.
And you keep talking about the mistakes. You keep talking about the past. You keep talking about your trials. You keep talking about your situation. And I want you to know that everybody that's ever been great, everybody has had an obstacle to overcome. They've had a barrier that they had to climb. There is no individual who's ever reached success and he didn't have to go through an obstacle or a barrier to get there. Listen to me very closely. Sometimes it's going to be hard. Sometimes you're going to look all around you and nowhere do you see success. Nowhere do you see anything that remotely looks like success. But you got to embrace the faith. You got to believe that although it's not happening right now, if you keep pressing, if you keep pushing, guess what? One day is going to be your day.
It only takes one extra push-up. It only takes one extra mile. It only takes one extra grade. It only takes one extra effort. It only takes one extra something to get you to where you're trying to get to. And the goal is you got to go a little further than the man who's trying to get what you're trying to get. You can't go around it. You can't go under it. You can't go over it. The only way you can get to it is through it.
got to be able to see it and believe it, that when there's no evidence around you, when there's no evidence around you, when you got pain in your life, when you're tired, you feel like giving up, and you feel like when you look around you, you don't see anything that looks anything like success. You got to embrace the faith and believe that one day gonna be my day. But one day can't be your day if you give up. If you quit, no day will ever be your day.
Every single day you wake up, you got to give it all you got. You got to 120%. Don't fool yourself into thinking that this year is going to be better than last year if you still making excuses. There are no excuses. You cannot cheat success. You got to work for it. You got to breathe it. You got to sleep it. You got to eat it. You got to put forth 120%.
Yo, what more to say?
Yeah,
What more to say?
I have to jump in. Yo.
Yeah, feel motivated.
Do you ever tell us hard work, brother? This much exercise I come from. No,
Yo, man. Yo. You feel motivated with like you're on the airport stretch now.
Hey.
Almost push up myself.
Hey,
okay.
I never know so much things involved. You know, you have to condition yourself for this sport, man. It's a real sport.
Let us find out from the professional himself. So without any further delay, Simon.
Hold on.
Okay, then, guys.
Yeah, welcome,
Simon.
You almost make Willard lose 2 pounds. Now I tell you. That's how I watch the video.
I run out now for do some push-ups. So yeah.
Cool. Simon, we like to start by just asking our guests to use 2 words to best describe them. What are those 2 words?
Self-discipline.
Self-discipline.
Self-discipline. Does that count as 1 word? Yes, that's my entire background. It's just discipline. So.
Self-discipline. Okay. Good to know. Simon, tell us a little bit. We want to really have a journey with you today. So we are going to start from basically childhood all the way up to the man you are today. In regards to that, we have a lot of international persons watching, local persons also tuning in. So let us start from primary school. We can start from primary school or prep school. Can you let us know which prep school you attend and when you were introduced to table tennis? At what age?
I went to prep school, and it's the best prep school in Jamaica.
What?
Prep school in the world. It's Vaz Prep School.
Yes, sir.
Continue. That's right.
Yeah.
Vaz Prep. I started playing.
I
started playing.
You play. Okay, cool. Just table tennis alone. You play any other sport at Vaz?
Any other sport?
No, I played everything. I played a little bit of football, some cricket, basketball, and table tennis.
Everything.
I little track. I was
You can't go to Vaz and do on the track. Like that is, it don't work like that. It don't work like that.
Okay.
So why did you decide to just focus on table tennis if you played all those sports?
You guys want the story time version or you want the short version?
It's your story. So all you want to let us know. Our viewers are willing and ready to hear everything. So let's go.
All right, let me try and combine both. So started playing in grade 4 at Vaz because in the mornings we had devotion. So everybody is gathered in the quadrangle and they would give out like once or twice a year, they would give out prizes for different sports or different achievements. And this morning in particular, they were giving out for sports. And I saw this trophy being given out. And this trophy is like, one of those, like you see after you win the US Open. It's one of them big trophies, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this trophy and all my little brain can say is, I want that.
Yes.
I need that. So I figure out later on that it's table tennis that got that award. So I said, well, that's it. That's what I'm doing. I need a trophy. Start for the table tennis.
Yeah.
So we used to have it in the canteen. So I'd go around there and I'd see the coach and I'm saying, I want to play. I want to try and get involved. and she let me on. Like I would practice with the guys a little bit, and then eventually.
Who was that coach at the time?
Sandra Retti, my first coach.
Okay, big her up. You're
and
cool.
And Paul Curtis. The two of them worked together. They were my first two coaches in table tennis.
Okay.
Yeah. So started playing then, and would you believe the first year I didn't win that match? I lost every match. Every single match I played. Didn't get one.
Oh.
Every match.
Every single match.
And this was you playing against other schools or other people in the school?
Both. I didn't win that match. I lost to the guys on the other teams. I lost to everybody.
Okay. But you still continue. Even after that year, you still maintain that you're still sticking with this sport. So what keep you there? What was it? What was it? The coach herself or the players around you? Is what are you develop that love? Why keep going after you have been basically demolished every time you touch the table?
I don't even know if you can call it love or just obsession. I just like, I started doing it because I wanted to achieve what I wanted. I needed my trophy, right? And then I realized that getting the trophy wasn't as easy as just waking up one morning and getting that trophy handed to you. So I just kept on going and going. And when I start something, I'm relentless. So I will train day, night, in between day and night, whatever that time is, and I keep on going. So that was it. I just kept on playing, and I lost every match the first year. But then I decided, hey, it can't get no worse than that, right? So just keep on playing. And
so it was a little better in the second year.
Oh no, second year. The second year actually, I came second on the island in the second year. I got MVP for the school. It was like I told you, relentless.
Whoa! And that would be grade 6, right?
No, that was in grade 5 when I came.
Grade 5.
So I started in grade 4, and then came second in grade 5. And it was just like two different sides of the coin. One year was losing, next year was just winning nonstop.
Okay, whoa. Okay, so that just sound like you need that trophy. You eventually got that trophy.
Would you believe that the year after I stopped playing, them stopped giving out that big trophy?
So what did you get instead?
I can show it to you right now. It is right outside. It's a small trophy. It's not even this big.
That's a small trophy.
You sure it doesn't have a bro, Simon?
No, I'm telling you that the trophy that I saw was a US Open size trophy.
All right. Yeah. Normally we have followers that would follow up on basketball. So before we continue talking about table tennis, I just want to give a breakdown in the way table tennis is scored. How does it work? How do you win?
All right, so table tennis is either best of 5 or best of 7 games. To win a game, you have to score 11 points before your opponent, or you have to win by 2 clear points. So if both players go to 10-10, you have to win either 12-10 or 12-14, whatever, or 14-12, whatever it is. So either going to 11 or you win by 2.
All right. So going on now to high school. Tell the viewers about the greatest high school in the world, and then you can go.
So hold on, Aten Calabar?
No.
Oh, I was just checking.
Calvin knows why he's asking that question.
You would think it's to big up the high school, but just tell them about the high school and the table tennis journey in that high school.
All right, so I went to Arden, and it wasn't my favorite place in the world. Let's leave it at that. It wasn't my favorite place. But funny enough, when I started Arden, the first year, summer school in first form, I actually stopped playing table tennis and I was playing basketball full time. I played basketball for I think 3 or 4 years at Arden. And then even when I stopped playing, I was involved. Like I used to help coach record matches or take stats or something like that.
Oh.
Okay. So why switch to basketball? Sorry about that, Gary.
No problem.
Again, it's the obsessive behavior. I saw a new sport with new challenges, and I had to keep on doing it. I'll never forget the first day I walk up to the basketball court, and Corey Robinson, who is my oldest friend or one of my oldest friends, was doing layups with Andrew Brown. And I was just watching, and Andrew looked at me and said, "Yo, do you want to try?" I said, "No, I don't know anything about this, right?" He's like, "Well, that's how you learn. You start, when you don't know things." And I started playing, and again, just obsessed nonstop every day with the guys back then. Basketball, there was no table tennis going on. I stopped table tennis until about fifth form, actually.
So, hold on. So you started in grade 4, stop after grade 6. I'm going to high school, and then you restart at fifth form, basically. When you realize that you were that good, and it's something that you can start now, invest your time in and not be obsessed over it, but to see that you have true potential. At what stage of your life that just kick in?
That was okay. So in fifth form, when I restarted playing table tennis, I was pretty much going up against some of the same guys that I was playing against in prep school. And of course, I haven't trained for the last 4 or 5 years properly. I mean, I was still playing here and there, but not really training. And these guys, like the Michael Kais and the Shane Frost, and a lot of new guys were coming up, and they were all beating me. And I said, "Wait, this isn't how this used to work. This isn't how this is supposed to happen right now." So I started training a little bit here and there, and then realized there's a different level beyond what I knew in prep school. It's completely different now. And I think that might have been the issue, because after prep school, I didn't know anything about table tennis on the island. I didn't know what was going on. So I didn't even know there's a national championships, right? I only knew about my one prep school competition. So in my last year of prep school, I won the competition. So I was thinking, okay, well, that's it for me. I don't have anything else to worry about. I'm good. And then I come back, and all these guys are destroying me. So I said, okay, let me train and at least try and beat these guys. But then they start calling me to a national team. And I'm like, wait, there's a national team for table tennis? And sure enough, there was. And I was maybe best case scenario, the 5th guy on the team, because everybody else was beating me. And it happened kind of quickly. I went to my first junior tournament in Guyana and realized, wait, there's table tennis outside of Jamaica too. And these guys are better than us. And went there and could barely win a match. I couldn't help myself there. And I was like, all right, so there's something to do here. So let me start again. So I started training again, nonstop. And then eventually went to our tournament in Miami, where I met my coach. And he's actually the one who got me to think about table tennis at a higher level, not just local, not just Caribbean, but like the entire world. And he's the reason why I decided, yeah, this is something I can do, and try and take it all the way and go full time.
Who is that coach you mentioned a while ago? What's the name of that coach?
The one, the only, the legend, Stephen Hilton.
Oh, I think I heard that name already when he come on table. I think he was an Olympian also when he come on to table tennis, right? Yep. He went to the Olympics.
He's Jamaica's last Olympian in table tennis.
Okay. All right. Okay. Question before you reach on to Miami, where you met Stephen Hilton. You talk about training, and I said that's the image of Stephen Willie just put up. You talk about training. So what type of training normally take place? Is just something that you did personally, or did you affiliate with a club, or what was the process going about? With basketball, we might have a couple of camps we can attend to improve our skill, our work with our high school coach. Was it a case that you only learned the sport through that high school coach? There was no other club you affiliated with?
No, well, the same coach from prep school, Sandra Retty, she continued to coach me at Arden. She was coaching the school as well. And then she told me about a club. She realized I was getting back into it slowly. She told me about a club that was close to where I live, down the road actually. And she told me to go there and check it out. If I like it, I can keep playing. If not, then it is what it is. And went there and actually made some of my closest friends now, which is why I kept on going there. So I was playing. The club was named High Performance. So we used to train there. Yeah, we used to train there and play there every day.
Oh, cool.
So is there a league that you were playing in for High Performance? So you play against other clubs?
Yeah. They had a local, almost like the Premier League. They had a Premier League for table tennis that we used to play in.
You said they had, so they don't have one anymore?
They tried to re-establish one last year, but I don't know how successful it was.
Okay. All right. So when after meeting up with Stephen Hilton, and you said that he brought you to know and show you the avenue. Um, after that meeting, basically, and you said that you basically now find a coach that can groom you the right way. Which tournament you went after that, and talk us through the performance through those tournaments. Because you went to Guyana, then you left from Guyana. You got slaughtered at Guyana. From how you sound. Yeah. Only for beat up. Then you go Miami.
Yeah.
All right, then you can you recall the next tournament you attended and your performance there?
The next tournament after I met him was the CAC Games, Central American and Caribbean Games. I had qualified for that team and went to Puerto Rico to play. And once again, was destroyed. And that tournament for me is actually a turning point because I lost to somebody that, in my opinion, I shouldn't have lost to. And up until then, even though I was listening to what my coach was telling me, I wasn't really absorbing it the way I should have in order to really become better. And at that tournament, I sat down and I watched everybody there. And I thought, okay, this is the last time that I'm going to feel like this at that tournament. This is the last time I'm going to lose and feel this way, right? So there's no more half effort, no more making excuses. At that point is when I decided, okay, everything is going to change. And then literally less than 3 weeks after, I won my first senior tournament on the island.
Oh.
Okay.
Training, and I'm gonna say training. What you talk about training? 1-2 days a week, 3 days a week, just ball work. Walk us through a typical Simon week of training especially for a tournament.
Yeah.
All right. So if I train once or twice a week, that's me on a vacation. That's training. Training for me is waking up at 4:30, going to UTEC, train with the MVP throwers or the MVP track group, and then finish there at 8 o'clock. Rest until about 12, maybe 1 o'clock. Train again until 4 or 5. Rest again, and then train from 6 to 9. That's when I'm in Jamaica. When I'm away, it is again training at 5 o'clock. Rest until 8. Train again from 8 to 10. Rest or go to the gym. Train again in the afternoon, about 4 until 7:30. Maybe go to the gym again, and then go home. And repeat every day for at least 6 days a week.
Kevin, I don't think I could be a professional table tennis.
Yeah,
no. I look at no.
Go ahead. Simon, this is you train for basketball with Arden, and playing basketball shortly after for myself, I've seen what training is like. How would you say the conditioning is different? Training for a sport like basketball or say football versus training for table tennis?
Training for basketball is a lot more endurance, a lot more cardiovascular endurance. We had to, Calvin, you know the art of basketball system. It was run and get fit. That was the entire system. It was just run, right? So coach would have us running. Coach have us running like 10 cross countries to warm up for training, right? So for table tennis, it is a lot more explosive training because even though the table is only 9 by 5 feet, it's very explosive, side to side, back and forth. So the training for table tennis would be a little bit shorter, but more intense, right? So it peaks a lot faster than basketball, while basketball is more about being able to maintain the endurance for a long period of time.
Okay. There's a question on the screen. I don't know if you can see it.
Does he have any injuries? I can't even count the amount of injuries I have. Right now, I'm fighting with my knee. I'm fighting with my left knee, my left ankle. My hip hurts today. I played table tennis yesterday, so my shoulder is a little bit. I have injuries. I have more injuries than I could ever need. Yeah.
So you get injured in table tennis
daily. Yes.
Daily. All right. So I want to talk about now. You're repping Jamaica. The first time you went with a national squad, how did that feel to put on the colors and represent your country?
The first time it was terrifying. The first time was Guyana as an under 18 player, a junior player, and a few of the guys had actually been to one of these tournaments before me, and so they knew what to expect. When I went there, I mean, the term "deer in headlights" doesn't even compare to what I was experiencing. I couldn't move for a minute. We had the opening ceremony, and I'm looking at all the other teams, and these guys are standing beside me, and I felt like the odd one out. It was terrifying.
Wow. Are you often underestimated? Because Jamaica, we're known for running, track and field, football in a sense, and cricket for being a part of the West Indies. When you come up as a table tennis player and them say a Jamaican guy, they say, "Boy, we're not running over here." What they normally say? How you feel, and how does it seem when they look at you?
I think that's probably one of the best compliments I get, because people will see me play and then not know where I'm from, and they'll come to me and ask me and say, "Yo, where are you from?" I said, "Jamaica." And they say, "No way, we didn't know Jamaicans even play table tennis, much less to have somebody at your level." So
we have internet too.
My level. Yeah. We have roads and internet.
We have roads.
Crazy. Yeah. But yeah, to me, it's a great compliment.
There's a question on the screen. How does someone get a knee injury playing table tennis?
Okay, whoever this is asked, just Google table tennis and watch it. All right. I'll answer that for you.
You'll answer it. Oh, cool.
Table tennis is the equivalent of staying in a squat position for almost an hour straight. You stay in a squat position for an hour straight and see if your knee don't hurt you.
I feel like the person that asked the question has never stayed in a squat position for 5 seconds. I just have a feeling. See
that's the person
I can't sit in a squat position for 10 seconds without chilling. So yeah, I just wanted to know,
Right. Cool. Simon, you just mentioned about almost an hour. Tell us the longest you ever play a game, a game basically. Yes.
The longest. Oh, so all right. So we played the World Championships in 2014 in Japan, and we actually won the gold medal for a division at the World Championships. And I played the longest match of that World Championships. I had to play against a guy from, I think it was Sri Lanka. Pakistan. And as like I said, the games go to 11.
Yes.
The last game that we played went to almost 30 all.
Wow.
Right? I mean, it was best of 5. So we went full 5 games and almost 30 all the last game.
So we're looking at about 1 hour and more, or 1.5 hours.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Minimum.
And we're talking. And for persons who don't get a chance to watch table tennis, I don't know, or you don't see the sport at all. It's a fast sport, very fast. Yes, it's not a sport that take him little time when I play hour and 30 minutes. So just imagine. All right. Comparing Simon, you mentioned going overseas and the tournaments, and you're a little bit nervous. Would you give the reason for that? Because our competition out here is nothing like overseas. Would you comparing our local table tennis tournament to an international table tennis? What's the difference?
Simon?
You're back. Yeah, you're back now.
Good. Okay. All right. Sorry. So I wouldn't put that question up to the level, but it's more the moment and the surroundings. Right, so you go to the World Championships and you see guys from China, Japan, Germany, Korea, and they're all on tables right beside you training, you will never feel that small in your life other than that moment, right? Because these guys are the kings of the domain, right? And you're on a table right beside the guy that you watch on YouTube every night. Nothing is as scary as that, right? So, but it's also the same. But it's funny because when I come back home to play, I'm actually a little bit more nervous than when I'm away, right? Because everybody here already knows me. They know what they expect. So if I can't live up to the expectations, it's just awkward, right? So it just depends on the stage.
As you mentioned that, Simon, I did a little research and I realized that you had a main competitor, a rival, like Kane Watson. Talk about the first time you defeat Kane, how you feel and where that took place.
The first time I beat Kane. Kane, when was the first time I beat you?
And for the viewers,
no,
I think
so regular.
Yes.
No. All right, let me. I have to give you a background of Kane Watson, right?
Definitely.
So in high school, I tell Kane the story all the time too. In high school, we are playing amongst our age group, and Kane isn't that far away. He's only 4 years older than me. So he was already, one of the big guys in high school when I was just starting, right? And the little bit I knew about table tennis, everybody knew this guy named Kane, right? And it was a scary name for me because if anybody here watched the first Vampire, what's the name of the show? Blade. If anybody watched Blade, right? You know that the main villain's name was Kane. Right.
Oh.
So I'm hearing about this guy named Kane. So we used to make up ghost stories about who Kane was, but I never knew who he was. Yeah. So high school goes on, he graduates, and I stop playing, but then start again, and then I have to go up against Kane.
That's Simon's internet.
Game starts, and I'm thinking, well, this is
okay.
Is that mine? Is that what? You good?
Yeah, man, you can continue. Yes, we're here now.
Yeah. So I have to play against this Kane Watson now, and I'm terrified. And I play one game, and I win the first game, and I say, wait a minute, hold on, something, I can do this. And I ended up beating him, but it was trials for the Commonwealth Games that we both qualified to go to. Right, so I beat him and then had to go on tour with him the next week. So that was the first time.
Problem.
Yeah, that was the first time I beat him, and then
The first time.
I don't think I beat him again for like 4 years.
Okay.
So when it comes to you and Kane, I see that you are rated number 1 in Jamaica. Kane is rated number 2, right? In the world right now, you're rated 699. How accurate do you feel about that rating?
About my world rating?
Yeah.
It's far off. It's far off. It shouldn't be that low or that high, whichever way you get it. It will get better. Yeah.
It will get better.
Okay.
I mean,
so
looking at go ahead.
You don't get points if you don't play on the world circuit, and we haven't played on the world circuit in a while. So actually, if you can see my world ranking, you will see that one tournament ago it was maybe 900 and something.
Yeah.
And the next tournament it was 600.
Right.
Yes.
After one tournament.
One tournament.
Okay.
That's after one tournament.
So you have to be active on international scene.
Yeah.
There's a question on
Yes.
in front. I don't know if you can view that question from Linford Sinclair.
Yeah. Okay. How much support did you get from home when you made this your official sport? Oh, not much. Not much at all, because table tennis is not well known locally. My manager / aunt is actually the one who helped me to get funding for table tennis. On my own, barely any companies would ever help me, or anyone would ever help me.
That was then. As you mentioned about support, in a Gleaner article in 2019, I think, yeah, last year, you mentioned the importance of investing in our young talent. And you also mentioned two names, Salisha Young and also Azizi Johnson. I have the privilege to kind of act like a coach to Azizi Johnson because I'm at Jesse Park Primary. So I win tournaments with him. But speak about how important that is and tell us a little bit about those two achievements so far.
Okay, so Azizi is a bit younger. Salisha is a little bit older. Salisha is 15 years old now, I think, or 15 or 16. And Azizi might be 12 or 13 now.
Yes.
But for the progress of Jamaican table tennis, the kids need to be supported. Not even table tennis, for every sport, you have to support the kids first. The kids are where they're going to take over, so they have to be given the right avenues in order to progress or opportunities to progress. So I tell any sponsor now, if you want to sponsor me, sponsor a kid first, right? After you sponsor the kid, then we can talk. But it's the one thing that I will be extremely vocal about when it comes to local table tennis, is sponsoring kids.
All right. As we're on sponsorship right now, Simon, I want you to tell us about how your personal brand has helped you to get your sponsorship, and what do you have to do now that you're endorsed by the company on your chest?
It is a lot of responsibility. This is actually where I think some of the kids will fall down in when it comes to sponsorship, because just the fact that I put on this shirt and I have this brand representing means that I have to take into consideration almost everything that I let people see. So anything that comes out about me in the public has to be positive. If you'll never go to a party, and Jamaican parties, you go to the party tonight and then tomorrow morning there's an album about the party on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, you will never see me in one of those parties holding a beer bottle, because that sends the wrong message to potential sponsors, unless you're trying to get sponsored by Jerry and nephew. So it's a lot of responsibility, and it's a lot of something that people don't really keep in mind.
Okay, marketing is important. If you understand that you are basically the product, you have to be going back and forth, and so persons who are looking even basketball, and he's not just talking about table tennis overall, he's talking about sports on a whole. Yeah. All right. We are here. At which year you became you ranked #1 for Jamaica? Tell us that year and that tournament that was the deciding.
That's actually another funny story. So I was ranked #1 in Jamaica long before I was the national champion. Whoa. I was ranked #1 in Jamaica, I think, towards the end of 2013, and I didn't become national champion till about 2016. So I had become #1 in Jamaica, and then we had to go to the World Championships. But Kane was the national champion, and our coach, who is still one of our coaches to this day, we just saw him a couple months ago, Barney Reed, put us in the competition and always put Kane above me to play, even though I was #1. Kane was a national champion, and he was the one who took charge. So I wasn't #1 and national champion till maybe 3 years after that.
Oh. Okay. And the funny thing, Calvin, as he mentioned that he became #1 2016, and up to today, you're still #1.
Yes, I'm still #1 to this day.
So 4 years. 4 years straight.
4 or 5 years.
So you're not making Kane beat you and like you just like continue just dominate.
Let me tell you, Gary, before we talk about that, you will bring Kane to play basketball and beat you in basketball. So one day what Kane win, really.
What do you mean? First of all, me and Kane play together, and what are you talking about?
Okay, cool.
Basketball.
As I mentioned, I want to stick to the awards a little bit, Calvin, with Simon. I know you were also nominated Student Athlete of the Year for UTech. And as we always mention that Jamaica gravitate to track and field. But that year it was you and also Shelley and Fraser, which is a big thing. How you feel? Give us that feeling at that moment, knowing that you were collecting right beside Shelley and Fraser.
Okay, so the amount of times I asked them, "Are you sure I want this?" is off the scale. I couldn't believe it because I mean I again train with MVP or at UTech, so I'm seeing all these guys every day. Like I'm seeing the Nesta Carters, that's off of Powell's, and I say, you sure you meant Simon Tomlinson when you chose the person to win this award? And really, I couldn't believe it. It was incredible. It was incredible. But I collected it and I stood beside Shelley. I looked at her and she looked at me and she's like, "Who are you?" And I said, "Well, I guess I deserve that one."
I'm laughing. I could just imagine, you know?
Right? and she's so nice as to ask you that she really don't know who you are at all.
Yeah, no, she had no clue.
There's a question on the screen from Tommy McDonald.
Okay, how important do you think facilities and equipment are as it relates to being able to compete on international level? Okay, do you think Jamaican Table Tennis Association is doing as much to push the sport? Ooh, you're trying to get me in trouble now. All right. All right. Okay. How important do I think facilities and equipment are? All right. So let's go to the popular sports: football, track and field. When you think of football, you know we have the national stadium, we have the Premier League, we have all these things going on for football. When you think about track and field, you have the Usain Bolt track at UA, you have the National Stadium, you have Stadium East, you have stadiums left, right,
GC, faster everywhere,
facilities are one of the most important things that you could ever have. And it's something that most sports in Jamaica don't have. Most sports in Jamaica share a space. Like you guys know basketball, you share the indoor arena. Badminton, netball,
volleyball, yes, sir.
Anything that happen there. So most of the sports in Jamaica don't have a facility. And that's where we fall down in. Equipment is the same thing. You will never say Usain Bolt go to a track meet with half torn up spikes, right? You're going to say Usain Bolt in his brand new Puma spikes. That speaks for itself. That's how important it is. You can't get the kind of results that you want to get if you don't have the infrastructure and you don't have the right equipment. So that's my answer to that question. It's very important. Do I think table tennis Jamaica, are you doing enough to push the sport? Before today, do you know my name? Probably not, right? I'll leave it there. That's my answer.
We can ask Gary too, though. Gary is a part of the table tennis culture. What do you think, Gary?
I think in regards to all sports, you can do a little bit more, but I do believe in regards to table tennis, you can do much better. I heard as you listen to Simon, he played the competition through Varsprep. After leaving Varsprep, he didn't even know that there was a national tryout. He didn't even know that table tennis continued after primary school. He thought it was just a Varsprep thing. And obviously, I'm saying this now. I normally train Jesse Report Primary School. We have about 8, 9, 10 primary schools entering into these competition because of lack of equipment. Table is not there, and Simon can tell you to get like good rubbers for your table tennis racket is not something cheap, because like when we were playing, and like Aziz Johnson, as you mentioned, was very dominant when it come on to table tennis, and like a lot of parents come to me and say, "Mr. Reed, I want my son, my daughter to also participate that way." So he was asking how much for one of those rubbers to put on it, and I think the figures was like $10,000 for one side or something like that, and like the parents them back away and say, oh, 20,000 just for a racket. You get what I'm saying? So these are things we think we can improve equipment to the schools. We can try and get more schools involved. Primary championship have 130 schools doing track and field. Them have to be cutting it now. By zone football, the same thing. You see our Manning Cup crowd. You see even primary football, football, it's fully supported. So as you say, Calvin, my opinion, they can do much better. They can put in some more work. But all sports need to put in the work, even our good old track and field. But that will be my and that's why we're here.
We're here today.
Because how can you not the 4 years straight national champion and you have persons online now who might not even know who's Simon? Well, today you know you need to spread the word and share the name with them.
So Simon, as we were talking about championships earlier, name your favorite championship, the trophy that you took home and it gave you the best feeling ever. Which one was that?
My favorite, most important championship is my first championship, the Oliver's Decorating Table Tennis Championship. So, like I told you guys, my first year in prep school, lost every match. And the story is actually much deeper than that. I started playing, and my father, who has passed away, was so proud of me making the team that I called him for every match that we had to play. Right? So the first year, every time we played a match, Peter and Paul, St. Hugh, all the school lost every single match in front of him. Right? So in grade 6, or before grade 6 started, he passed away. And he never got to see me win the championship. The year before, I came second. I mean, it's okay, but second isn't winning the championship. And so he's gone now, and I'm still playing this competition. And I reached to the finals, and I'm playing against this other kid, Javon Johnson, who would have been my prep school rival. He's the one who beat me the year before as well. So this year is a rematch, and we're playing, and the game is so close. It's 2-2, and maybe like somewhere in the deuce, so like 11-11 or 12-12 in the last game. And I had a shoulder injury because I was so small. I was playing like this over the table. And my coach calls timeout, and I'm literally in tears. I'm crying, not because I might lose the match, but because I'm in so much pain. And one of the teachers who would come on tournaments with us, Miss Leong, she looked at me and she said, Simon, if you're not going to win for yourself, win for your father. I went back on the table and I won the next 2 points. I won the entire championship. And he wasn't there to see it, but I got the job done. So that to me is my favorite tournament, my favorite championship. I could throw away every trophy I have now. Once I have that one, I'm good.
Oh. Road to Olympics. How is that road?
Long, rocky, winding, unforgiving. There are many adjectives I could use to describe that road.
Yeah. It is achievable.
It is achievable. It is achievable. It's difficult, especially given the state of the world now, because all things being the same or being normal, I would already have known if I'd qualified for the Olympics this year, because the trials were supposed to be held last month. Oh. So we have another year to prepare, so I should be thankful for that. But yeah, it's a long and difficult
road. There's a question here.
Would you leave table tennis and start playing rugby league? I don't think
somebody wants to win a championship.
There isn't enough money in the world that would convince me to play rugby, because that is suicide. Sorry.
I just mentioned money, and sometimes say money, eyes go up. And you know, majority of the time, the youngsters, they want a motivation. They need to know the incentive behind the sport. speaking on table tennis now, do you think it's profitable? Do you think you can consider it that you can make a living through this sport? I know persons talk about NBA and sometimes they flash how much money LeBron is getting, football, Messi. What about table tennis?
Okay, well, table tennis, you can definitely make a living from table tennis. But if you're expecting LeBron James type money, you're living in a fantasy. You're not getting that kind of money playing table tennis, but you have more than enough to live off of. For example, I lived in Sweden for over a year without ever worrying about money. There is more than enough money to be made in table tennis. You sign the right contracts, you do the right things, and you get the right endorsements. You can more than live on table tennis.
That's definitely
Right.
Wait, I have to jump in and ask, like,
I love how he just pops in.
yeah, you know, like, how was it living in Sweden for a year? Right, you know, culture shock.
Okay, well, again, given the state of the world now, specifically the US, I know exactly what it is like to be a black man living in a white man's land. It is. It's not easy. I mean, besides the fact that it's freezing cold 24/7, it's not easy being literally the black sheep. But even through all that, it is probably it's probably the favorite time in my life for me, because it was the first time I was really on my own. Not even nobody was there with me. No other Jamaican. Kane wasn't there with me. My family is not there. It was the first time in my life when I was completely by myself.
So you know a little Swedish then, like, you know, when you go to the clubs and all of them stuff, you have to learn how to alert the ladies.
A little. I know very little. I can ask if I can buy you a drink. That's about it.
Okay. Who will you consider your role model?
Role model. Okay. You speaking. You want the celebrity role models, or do you want the emotional, real life role models? Which ones?
Both.
All right. The real life role models. The real life role models. First of all, my grandfather, Navarre McDonald. I would not be half the man I am today if it wasn't for him. My uncle, Navarre Patrick McDonald, aka Patrick McDonald. He gives me some of the most life-changing advice, even if it's by accident sometimes. My mother and grandmother. I always say that I've been raised in a house of women, because it's me, my grandmother, my sister, my auntie, and just the values that they've instilled in me cannot be replaced. So I guess all my role models are just of my family, to be honest. Okay. It's just the people that I've grown up with and have seen and have helped me develop. So it's there.
Celebrity.
R.I.P. Kobe, Black Mamba, Bean Bryant.
Up and running. You're the general today.
Yeah.
Black Mamba mentality. So like how we have a lot of basketballers, and I say LeBron and Kobe in a 1-on-1, we'll give the championship. Who do you think taking that?
Kobe.
So I'm asking real questions.
I know one of us not watching. I like I'm mad enough Calvin. So
what I'm watching. Real
questions.
Simon, I want to go back to the personal branding, because as we were saying earlier, that's very important, especially in a sport that Jamaica doesn't pay attention to, which applies to a lot of our viewers today with basketball, because basketball does not get a lot of attention either. It would be easier if we got individual sponsorship, and by we I mean the kids, not by me and Gary, right? And you have something called Tomo TV that Willie keeps putting up down there when it comes up, right? So no, I didn't come. Gary popped up instead. But how has that helped you to get your brand across? And do you feel like you're engaging with a bigger audience since you started?
Yeah, definitely. So Tomo TV has turned into something that I never expected and almost didn't intend for it to turn into, right? So people who come to me now just on the street randomly and say, hey, I like your videos, I watch your videos. I'm just like, what are you talking about? I said, Tomo TV. I said, oh yes, geez, yeah, you're right. That's me. Thank you. I appreciate that. It has done so much to spread me that it's incredible. More so my mother, who is the star of my videos now. But it helps me as well.
Okay. All right.
Willie,
Normally,
I think you have to. Go ahead, Gary.
Will you have a question? All right.
No,
normally when guests are on, we normally ask directly, like personally, what are you doing in the sense to give back to your sport of choice, which is table tennis. I realize that you also coach the under 13 girls to a mini prep competition championship. Speak a little bit about that. What are your plans? Do you do mentorship? Do you assist in coaching, or you at the sport personally?
First of all, I have a rule when it comes to kids in particular. If a child asks you for advice, you never turn them away. You never say no. You never turn them off from what they want to achieve. What I do is that I will work with the association and try to get as much help for the kids as possible. Most times that just turns into me coaching the national team. So I ended up coaching the under 13 girls to the Caribbean Championship gold medal. And even as good as it is for me to win my personal championships, I'm looking at my trophies right now. It was 10 times. It felt 10 times more rewarding to watch those girls win. I was in tears when they actually won. But so as much as possible, I try to help the kids with whatever it is that they want to achieve.
Okay, so for viewers who are watching, maybe parents are looking in and they want to get their kids involved. Where and is there any club around? Even what's the name of the clubs around that they can visit to be a part of table tennis? Because it's not really in every primary school. I can say that personally.
Yeah, the clubs know. All right, I'm going to be very honest, because I'm always away training. I don't actually know what happens with the clubs down here that much. But I used to have my club, Barbican Terrace Table Tennis Club, where the kids would always come and play. There is the Supersonic Table Tennis Club, which is, where is it? On Waterloo, I think.
Yeah, I think beside Mega Mart there, so.
Yeah.
Across the road from Mega Mart, yeah.
I remember the name of the road, of course, but that's Supersonic is there. There is the Waltham Table Tennis Club that's run by Sean Wallace. Actually, I still have no idea where that is. I'm very bad when it comes to clubs. Terrible. I'm horrible. But there are clubs for people to play at though. If anybody wants a club to play in, just call the office. Their number is online. You can find it, and the office can tell you where all the clubs are.
All right, most definitely.
Simon, quick question. You have the brand on your chest, but do you have any local endorsements now that you're international? Do you see that you get more local endorsements, or do you have any at all?
I don't have any active local endorsements now, but we used to have with like Mayberry Investments, General Accident, Management Control Systems, a bunch of them. But
and how did he go ahead?
Yeah, because we stopped being so active on the international scene, we kind of let those endorsements just, we have them on the side, right?
Okay. And how did he get through to those endorsements?
My aunt, who is my manager as well, Molly Rowan, she helps me to get all the documentation necessary and then approach the companies, pitch it to them. They decide how they want to get involved and we move from there.
Is there any special reason why we are not on the international scene, as you mentioned? Is it that the talent is not as good, or because you mentioned that we are even losing funding towards the sports because we are not really traveling and going overseas and playing these tournaments. What would be the primary reason you looking at it in your own opinion?
It's the lack of involvement. It's the lack of support from the local bodies. People don't want to invest in something that they don't know or understand. People don't really know or understand table tennis in Jamaica. So it is extremely hard, and given that there's a lot of negative storyline portrayed in the media about table tennis, it's even harder to get sponsorships. Coach Basil Barrett, thank you very much, Coach. Yeah, so it is hard for especially smaller sports like table tennis, basketball to get the necessary involvement. But that is the most pertinent issue that we face is lack of support.
And I'm going to put you on the hot seat right away, as you mentioned that.
Right.
If you are supposed to become the president tomorrow morning, what's the first thing you would put in place to uplift the sport?
First thing I'm putting in place. I would do my best to develop a system for consistent play locally. That has to be the most important thing. If the player base is not active, nobody will ever sponsor you. And if the player base is not active, players cannot get better. So the first thing I would do is find a way to implement a system where there's consistent table tennis being played. That's the only way.
I realize you have a quote from Bruce Lee on your site. The same thing, similar. You said the will to win must be consistent. So that would be your logo for if you're the president. The will to win must be consistent. Any questions out there, Willard Wells?
Well, let me say this, right? I heard Calvin talking about Tomo TV, and before I even know that Simon was a table tennis player, I know Simon as a personality on TikTok. Cool?
Very creative.
One of the cleanest videos as a Jamaican you'll see. Like this is professional. I never knew this guy was a Jamaican. So when Calvin approached me, I'm like, Simon, I have a friend, Simon, who wanted. I was like, sure, who? But when him send me a picture, I say, are you what you have to go for? Hold on, let me just show you. Let me show you. Man, let me show you. Hold on. This is one.
You know it's warlord and it's forward, him come searches. Hey yo, yellow, what? Swiss beat, go get a rotted Chris Wheat. Hey yo, yellow, Timberland, how you send? Fish in it, Beanie Man. You know it's warlord, the Sky Star General, how them send? Fool forget 5-star funeral. Stop baby, dang bang baby, dang bang baby, stop baby. Turn on the rhythm there, okay. Simmer, Beanie Man, a son killer. Who am I? Kill bounty killer. All out no business, everybody dead. Try to want a piece of wine, busting on me yet. That's ready for rub out from head down to set. Beanie to make your Grammy get to your head.
Do you want to be that guy? Do you want to be this guy? Killer, we're not going to make them disturb our thing. Killer, come back over here, son. Them gone out that door.
Well, Killu, you mad man. Beanie Man a bad man. Killu.
I just say you there.
So viewers, as you can see, Simon is not that uptight person where you cannot come to and talk with him. He's jovial and keep it real.
Trust me.
Sometimes person can say, him they look like somebody who can talk to, but as you can see, a cool, humble individual.
Yeah, man, and always I do some challenges. Like I start put everything together now. Cause the first time I see him do the strict thing with I say, why you do with table tennis ball like him know about them things? You know, like I say,
a 4-time national.
I tell you, brother, I realize, the man is a star. Let me see if I have one more. Wait, just one more.
You can do anything you want when you say money make me feel good. People don't impress me. Study, I'm a god with a stroke. It's a blessing. Count of the dead.
And that is in the COVID era that we're at home, stuck at home, inside. So what better to do than make some videos?
And it took off, man. Trust me, it's one of the big ones on TikTok. Yeah, and if you never believe Sam was a basketball player, see there now, you know,
For me say Mr. Barrett hail him up, you know, that means he's a baller, you know. So
he's a baller.
First is about a question, you know. As I'm saying, I just don't want the big trophy at prep school. That's why I'm telling the table tennis. I never know, say it don't reach so far.
But with them attitude still, the work attitude, what I see him do, you know, just table tennis, I can't tell, say, even if he wasn't good, he would have become, you know, very good player because the determination and the consistency. And let me tell you, he's working out by himself and putting in the work. So just imagine if it was like a team thing where you feel him with all the work people. You need to go visit about basketball. Still, if you want to get the LeBron James money, you see what I'm saying?
Don't worry. I want the Kobe money. I don't want the LeBron money.
No.
That's sure.
That's the only time I go with LeBron still.
Yeah. So because we're here just having a discussion with Simon Tomlinson, 4-time national on the road to Olympic. So it's going to be a lot of bumps, but as you can see, in dedication, in work, attitude, we're sure that you will eventually get there. I think your coach Stephen Hilton. Yeah, Stephen Hilton. I know he also was an Olympian and he won about 12 championships with the Pan American and everything. So I know he's there encouraging you, motivating you to say, Simon, let's get this. Interview squad totally support this movement, totally support table tennis. I'm a table tennis player, but I don't think I could match up with you, not even for a second, but I would try. I was
awesome. I'm not going to lie, table tennis was the first sport I started playing when I was younger. No, come on.
Well, go easy, man. No. You let them say the track, too. I would know say I could the track either. So everything you let them say, though.
I have a picture where I'm not this side. No, table tennis.
You never this side?
You told me it was track, bro. You told me.
Willie, you put on the weight after 1 month.
Yo, listen now.
So from 2 months up.
Run too much joke. No, table tennis was actually the first sport that I played, and I was very, very good. My coaches were from Cuba, right? And I mean, they were some of the best, and like I was like the best.
And then I wake up.
No, and then I played against this guy that no. I took 1 year off and I played against this guy that played for Georges at the time and he beat me with him left hand. And me just stopped there. Yeah, me just decided to not play that. He was right-handed, you know, he was trying to show me
so you were the best and you lost somebody with an off hand.
I took a year off.
Talk about the definition of the best.
No, I took a year off, you know. So that's why I took a year off. But I have a serious question for Simon. You say your aunt is your manager. You feel that she would probably manage other table tennis players, or you're just the number one, or how that go? Because she seems to be doing a good job with getting your sponsorship and all of them stuff there. So it could be a business. I know I could probably get back into the sport and then, you know, have a manager. And
man. Him can walk with the towel. Yeah, can't.
This is a serious question for young kids who are out there who have aspiration like Simon. You know.
I don't think she would get back to helping individual players, but I think she would get involved with the governing body. I think she would get involved with the governing body. Yeah.
And that is definitely where I think the sport needs the help. So that would be a good thing. If we don't take anything from Simon today, we can take his dedication, hard work. To get up 4:30 in the morning and train all the way up. And listen, he mentioned like persons that understand when you talk about MVP, you talk about Shelley and Fraser and Asafa Powell, and you talk about Nesta Carter, and to put in that work. Where he use the integration, where we also work out with the track athletes, and then come back and then spend our next 5-6 hours on his own craft. And remember, you know, it's not a popular sport. It's not a sport that he's going to walk on the road and majority of the person not going to recognize him. I said, that's Simon. But still, him still put in the hard work, and that goes to show, as once you believe in something, you can achieve it. He never get the big trophy, them give him a small trophy, but we thought of us. We've got a discussion with us.
I got an even bigger one.
Got a bigger one.
Got a bigger one.
Well, Simon,
give me 1 second. Let me get the big one. I can't make it.
Go on, Phil.
In the meantime, here, remember we have the challenge for the water bottle.
Oh yes. So when Simon come back with you that, but him have to answer David question. You see me? Cause it looks like David beat Simon or something. You know? Wait there. Can you hold in the camera?
Yeah,
you.
No way.
Stunt on him.
No, we need to take a picture and send to us.
Yeah,
So look about 4 feet or something.
Simon, the rest of the interview, you're going to stay right here with me. So
Simon, you want to see my trophy from NBL?
Sure.
Let
me talk to David Gardner.
Yeah, man. What David want to know?
First of all, David Gardner. Just look at the first part of your question. Do you remember that time you were teaching me? I taught you how to return my serve, sir. Remember that. So that's a good story. David came to UTech, and David, another basketball player from Arden, much better than me, he took up my racket and said, let's play a little bit. So I'm teaching David, the basics, how to hold the racket, how to hit the ball, how to understand spin. And I said, okay, let me show off a little bit now. So I gave David one of my good shots. David hits the ball right past me. And I said, wait, what does that mean?
Yeah.
I'm shocked. But I will give it to you, David Gardner. You did take on the serve, and you made a good shot. I respect it. But remember who your coach was.
Okay. All right. And Willard, let me see your trophy now. See him go for a trophy of 4 feet.
Yo, mine there in the car, bro.
Ice cream?
I'm gonna buy it.
You guys there? That's Sandra right there.
Always hard work pays off. Keep on working. And get there. As I said, and when you hear mention Kobe and you say black man, but we definitely have to have him on the set instantly because we realize this is someone who has sense.
We have a question here from Linford. Were there any sponsors you had to turn down?
Yes, there were a few sponsors. I had to turn down. I won't call the names.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
But there were a couple who they basically wanted to control what I do and when I do it in a way that didn't make me very comfortable. It, like I said, most sponsors know if I talk to them, I tell them, help me help a kid first, and then we can work out an arrangement. And there were a few sponsors who didn't want anything to do with anything else that was going on. They would just want to try and give me money and then tell me what I can say or what I can't say, and that's not going to work for me. So I had to turn those down.
All right.
And so any more questions out there, Willard? Because you are seeing the viewers' questions.
Well, not really. David just said that he left without a word to go train, so I guess that's what is how determined he is, like
I want to plead the fifth.
All right, before we go, Willard, you put up the trick shots. So we're going to issue a trick shot challenge to Simon. If you go on your Instagram and you post a trick shot, you tag both the Jamrock interview and we like them to tag Tomo TV or Simon Tomlinson.
And Tomo TV.
Tomo TV. So you must follow and you must tag the Jamrock interview in your trick shot. If your trick shot wins out of all the contestants, then this will be your prize.
Yes.
So what
yeah, more buy one of the racket them, yeah.
And I've never tried. We don't reach that level to give out rackets.
No. To the trick shot.
But this will be the prize. So remember, you must follow, subscribe to both Tomo and Jamrock interview, and then you go ahead and post the picture with tagging us, with the video with tagging us.
I would love.
All right.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen, Gary, take us out.
Most definitely. As you know, a big thank you from the interview family. Simon, it was a privilege having you on set, and we really appreciate you taking out the time to come and sit with us. Give us a story you mentioned about Vals Prep, seeing that big trophy. You have a bigger one now, that motivate you. You even you take yourself away from the game, you said early in high school, but return and you went to Guyana, Miami, where you met your coach Stephen Hilton, and then from there you basically make up your mind that you're not going to any more tournament and be nothing less than the best Simon can be, and you did that 4 years straight. I don't think there's a next table tennis player in Jamaica who had won a national title 4 years straight. So that's a huge accomplishment. And then Willard see on TikTok and even know that you're a national, asking you what to do with that table tennis ball. What the liberty. But just to say, a very humble individual. I'm glad that you could take the time again over and over to be here with us. And I hope the viewers tune in, follow you at Tomo, and ensure that you watch your journey and your journey to Olympic. And I'm saying we are here and we are cheering for you overall, and we will continue to listen and follow up and watch what is going on in regards to your career. Thanks for being on set.
Remember to follow me back on TikTok. You know?
Tell me your name now on TikTok so I can follow
Willie London. Willie London.
500 subscribers again. Thank you very much.
Willard, Basil Barrett, big up yourself, everyone.
Big up everybody.
Michael Shaw.
Michael,
challenge you to 100 meter. Can't be willing that.
Listen, no, he'll win. But here,
you can't beat you, Willie. Can you start?
Basketball almighty. Michael, you know this. You know this.
You get me? So,
hey, thanks everybody for tuning in. Nene, Mr. C, I reached late, but we're glad you still, came and you can watch a rewind. Everybody, make sure you just log on, watch everything and share. Log on to Tomo_TV. And show us some love, Thanks for everybody.
Yeah, our next interview will be on Sunday. We are going to the West with a young national basketball player, Nicole Dias, who also want to challenge Willie on the court. That will be a good interview. So first Sunday coming up, our national female Nicole Dias will be on set. So tune in for that one. You never know what will go down. Maybe we have a shoot up before even we meet today and can show the viewers. Or Willie get defeated by a female? Oh my God!
Hey, Willie will come a good second.
I can't. I don't know how to lose to a female. I don't know.
Okay.
Before we go, just in case, after this, we just want to show you how table tennis look on an international level if you never see it before. All right.
Yo, my team have it, I'm going to sport then.
Easy. Right. Not play that. Take it from somebody that played. It's not easy.
Last time Willie played table tennis, him pull a fat. Can't have that again. Peace out. Interview squad in the building. We are out. Upper.